I cannot remember the books I've read as much as the food I have eaten. However, the both make me who I am today. That was said by Raphael Walden Emerson. And it is no news how important reading is to children and for children. So, welcome to Learning with Mrs. O today. And today I'm going to be talking about how to help your child develop their love for reading. What are the ways we can help our children develop the love for reading? I'm going to start by talking about start early and make reading a routine. It is important that as soon as, even before they're able to recognize words, even before they're able to read for themselves, I know some mothers even go as far as reading to their children in the womb, and that is amazing. So from the moment they're young, we start reading to them, we start letting them associate story times with books. It's something that's then usually picking on their interest as we go, and then also making bedtime routine a lot of fun. Read to them a lot. Use your reading voice. I'm going to get to that, don't worry. And then also it's important that you can create a reading area for your child. Let it be an area in your house that is beautiful, that is cozy, that they look forward to going to sit to read all by themselves. Then another very important point is let them choose their books. It is important that you allow children choose their books based on their interest. Take them to the bookshop. When they get to the bookshop, there's a reason why most books have cover pages that has beautiful illustrations. That way, just the same way candies and toys attract children, children can always be attracted to different genres of books. So it's important you take them along to bookstores. You'll be shocked at what exactly interests your child. Let them pick. You'll be surprised that your child is interested in books about animals, about dinosaurs, about plants, and all of that. Then offer them a different genres of books. And the non-fictions, the books that are giving information that are real, the ones that are not real, and also encourage book-related hobbies. So what I mean by that is that, for example, if your child is all of a sudden interested in animals, you can go on and buy toy animals in the house so they can relate what they're reading to what they can see and feel around the house. Another important point is making reading fun and interactive. Usually, I've heard parents read them like, oh, that sounds boring. I know as a teacher, there's what we call the reading voice, where you use your voice to bring a story to life. Sometimes you're reading a book and then the words are too big for a child to understand. You change the word. You use words they understand. You dramatize with your voice. You can go as far as acting out the scenes, using imagination voice, sounding like the animals. Use that way your children get very interested in the books and they're able to listen through long stories and use their imaginations to bring the story to life. It's also important that you ask questions when you're reading. Don't just read a long batch of books without asking questions. Ask as you read along. When you get to a point, oh, what happened to that animal? Why do you think happened? Ask an inferring question. What happened? How? Why? So the children are getting to think that even if answers that are not found in the book, they can use their intuitions and their mind to ask questions. You can act out scenes from books with your children. There was a time my daughter was really in love with Three Little Pigs, and we went all the way out. We made the house of sticks, we made the house of bricks, we made the house of straw. I got straws, used red papers for bricks, brought the story to life, and you can never forget that story, for example. And even if you're also reading stories for the Bible, for example, there was time we were reading stories from the Noah story, and then we made an ark, we bought toy animals, we got toy animals, we walked in 2 by 2, and that leaves the imprint of the story in the mind of your child. Another very important tool to help your child develop love for reading is being a reading model to your child. It is a common saying that children usually copy our actions more than our words. You cannot want your child to develop a love for reading and you are never seen reading. It's important that children see you reading. When they see you around the house with books, it makes it easier for them to also be drawn towards books. Or let them see you reading a variety of books, from the Bible to novels to magazines. Let them see that there are so many options to read from. And then something very interesting is talk to them about the book you're reading. You will be shocked. If you pick a magazine and you find something interesting, talk to them about it. Do you know what I just read about? Relate it to them in their own way, the way they will understand. And that goes a long way to help your child develop a love for reading. Another important tool is also to incorporate technology wisely. One thing I know I do often is, for example, if you're going on a long drive, audiobooks. Audiobooks are very important. There's a listening skill your children need to develop that they will eventually need when they're listening. You need to listen to understand. Apart from using visuals, ability to listen and then use their imagination to bring out what they're listening, to bring it out, to bring it to life in their minds, to use technology to your advantage. Another important point is to try the activities, especially when you're reading non-fiction books. Non-fiction books that have things like experiments, things like books on recipes that have baking. Let your child be reading the book beside them, and then you're trying out what you can see in the book. That way they know that everything we're talking about can be found in the book. There's so much information actually locked up in the book. Another important thing is to encourage storytelling and writing. When your children have gotten, even before they start writing, when they're at the point where I don't know whether your kids that way they use their imaginations, my daughter will come up and then tell stories that I know doesn't exist, and then I'm adding different parts of the story. Really? You mean this? And then she adds another character to the story, and then she adds another setting to the story. They went from the animal kingdom and then they went to the ocean. And, oh, really? And then when you're engaging with them that way, the imagination, you're putting a writer's mentality in them. Last point I'm going to talk about is praise them, praise and celebrate them. When they read little books, when they pick books, usually when a child starts reading, they start with picture reading, especially when you read to them a lot. They pick up a book and then they are trying to use the pictures to tell the story. Celebrate it, make it a big deal. My daughter will pick a book and then tell the entire story from the beginning to the end just using the pictures. And sometimes what she's saying actually has nothing to do with what's actually written, but she's using the pictures to tell what she thinks is going on in the story. And that is a very important skill for a child that is developing their love for reading. So praise them, um, give them positive reinforcement, and then you can also have like usually there are libraries where you can, if you're able to read 10 books at a particular number of time, there's a reward attached to it. I know that I've spoken once here to say that things like screen time could be used as reward systems. If you read 10 books in a week, you're going to get 1 hour of TV time. That way they're excited, they're looking forward to it, and they're motivated to try to read by themselves. I hope you are going to be putting some of these skills to use. Which of this have you ever tried with your child at home? I'm very interested in knowing. Which have you implemented? Are you reading with them every day? Which of these method have you used at home? I want to go to the comment section and let me know, and I'll be there to interact with you. Which of them do you think you even need help with to reinforce to help your children develop their love for reading? Please go on to the comment section and let me know your views. Thank you for your time. See you again at Learning with Mrs. O. Bye.